Hello again, and welcome to another installment of What to Expect on your full Irish Whiskey Heritage Tour of Ireland. I'm Brian West, and I'll be your guide, conductor, whiskey pal on this tour. and today we're going to be talking about day 5 in Ireland. This is a very full day. We're going to be seeing a lot and doing a lot, covering a lot of ground. So we will wake up early at our bed and breakfast in Glynn. We'll be staying at one of 3 bed and breakfasts in Glynn. We'll have our little group will be split up among those 3 bed and breakfasts in order to allow them to accommodate all of us. And then we'll have our breakfast, of course, our full Irish breakfast, and enjoy the company of our hosts. Very briefly, before we load everybody up on our coach and head down to the town of Foynes, which is about a 15-20 minute drive away from the town of Glynn. Here we will be visiting the Foynes Flying Boat Museum, which recalls the early days of transatlantic travel from the late 1930s, early 1940s. And Foynes is where the original terminal was located for these flying boats, and inside that terminal they now have the museum as well as a full-size replica of the very famous Yankee Clipper. So we will be enjoying the exhibit there. There's also a brief movie that kind of goes over the history. And we also will be partaking of an Irish coffee session, because this is where Irish coffee was invented. For those of you who don't know, Chef Joe Sheridan was the man who invented Irish coffee. The combination of Powers whiskey, coffee, fresh ground, fresh brewed coffee, and cream that many people now enjoy all over the world. This was where it was invented to take the chill off of the transatlantic travelers. So once we've gone through the museum, had our guided tour and Irish coffee session, we will head out to Bunratty Castle and Folk Park, located on the other side of the Shannon. And Bunratty Castle and Folk Park comprises mainly a magnificently restored castle, along with a collection of fine Irish homes that have been moved there. And they're basically homes and farmhouses from different regions of Ireland and different eras. There's also a 19th century Irish village street, complete with a real pub, a school split with boys and girls, a general store, and many other buildings where traditional lifestyles and crafts are demonstrated. So we'll spend a couple hours going through and taking a look at this beautiful folk park. It's one of the highlights of visiting Ireland, is to visit this park and see all the different cultural heritage that they have there. Then from there, we'll take a brief stop at the Creamery Bar in Bunratty. This is a bar now from a converted creamery, basically. It's been converted into a bar, and it's well known for having some really good food. So if you wanted to partake of a light lunch on your own, grab a quick bite or something. They also have an excellent selection of whiskeys to offer. So if you want to partake of a dram while you're there to warm yourself before we hit the West Coast, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So we'll be stopping there briefly before heading on to the Cliffs of Moher, which is one of the natural wonders of the world. It is an impressive natural rock wall rising 700 feet above the Atlantic Ocean on Ireland's west coast. If anybody has visited the Niagara Falls, for instance, Niagara Falls is about 165 feet to 185 feet, I believe. and this is 700. So it's 6 times the size of height of Niagara Falls, and it stretches for 5 miles along the coast. And we will be visiting. You'll be able to climb up to O'Brien's Tower or visit the new Atlantic Edge Visitor Center, which has many different exhibits and a history of the area. There's also some shops that are built into the hillside there. It's just many visitors have described it as a serene, almost spiritual experience to visit. So once we finish there, we will travel on to our hotel, but we will do so by traveling through the Burren National Park, which is one of the largest karst landscapes in all of Europe, and truly a natural wonder of its own. It's hard to describe, but it's very rocky, slate kind of a landscape that's just really it's kind of reflected in the people, the hardiness of the people from the west of Ireland. So from there, we'll travel on through Galway City, onto our hotel in Glasson, which is in the Midlands area of Ireland. We'll be staying at the Wineport Lodge, which is a luxury hotel on the quiet, picturesque shores of Moher. It has a cedar-clad log cabin style exterior, but a very modern interior with a very warm and relaxed atmosphere that I'm sure you'll just love. So we'll be having dinner there and overnighting there. In the next video, we'll be talking about day 6, which is where we'll be traveling on to the Ulster American Folk Park up in Northern Ireland. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video and hosting you on the Full Irish Whiskey Heritage Tour of Ireland.